All right, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever the fuck you guys are at. Welcome to Keyboard Warriors, episode 74. Also, our UFC 217 pre-fight show, presented by RepTheWarriors.com. My name is Eddie Law. Today's show, of course, we have Fred Kirby from Ohio. We're waiting for Jesse Ruvalcaba to show up, as soon as we find a Starbucks to hook onto. And from the Hardcore MMA show, we've known him forever, but finally hopping on the Keyboard Warriors. Jeremiah, how's it going, man?
What's up?
Chilling. So, a lot of shit, there's a lot to unpack with 217. We'll get to that in a second. But a story that came out maybe a few hours ago, it's been making the rounds, is Conor McGregor apparently is negotiating his next fight, right? And he threw the terms true partner and promoter. Now, he's coming off the Mayweather fight. He was talking about, I'm coming off $1 billion fight, blah, blah, whatever the fuck. But basically, it seems like he wants more than just pay-per-view points. He wants more than just a purse. He wants some promoter money. What do you think about that there, Jeremiah?
Like I made a post earlier, he just needs to vacate the belt and he can go promote however many fucking fights he wants to promote. Because he's done made a fucking bank. I mean, it's time to defend the belt. It's time to fucking fight in the fucking cage. I'm tired of hearing about McGregor.
But he's going to fight. He's going to defend the belt.
Against who?
Tony Ferguson.
Did you see the tweet and delete bullshit that the UFC done about the Nate Diaz 3 fight?
Was that real though?
Clickbait. I don't know. His management said that
listen,
him and Tony will fight, but they don't know when is the time. Is the thing,
I buy that. When they booked Khabib versus Barboza, I start saying it right then. We're going to get Tony Conor. There's no way they're going to put Tony, unless Tony's got a bad injury that nobody knows about. That's the only way. I mean, I know the UFC has done some outlandish shit. Tony's the fucking interim champ. They're not going to go that far. I mean, listen, Nate's cute and all. He's no fucking GSP back after a 4-year hiatus. Like, they want that fight, but they're not stupid. They know that third Diaz fight's there. We're going to get... Yeah, it's going to be there. If Conor loses this next fight, that trilogy fight's there and it sells. That don't matter. Matter of fact, it probably sells a little better if dude loses, just because then there's not the belt and all that fucking, shit wrapping it up. What the fuck? Like that fight will sell good regardless. So I think that we definitely get that fight. I just don't know when. I buy that.
But honestly, how pumped are y'all for the trilogy fight? Me, myself, I really don't. I would rather him fight Tony. I'm over the Nate Conor fucking bullshit.
Look, I want to see the trilogy at some point, but not now. I want to see Tony fucking fight for that shit. He's earned that shot. Like I fully believe he's earned that shot, right? And I'm a Nate Diaz fan. I mean, if they make the trilogy, okay, whatever. But I prefer the Tony fight. I want to see. Plus, look, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of all this. Well, he's never defended the belt talk. I'm sick of that shit. Fine, defend the belt. Shut those fuckers the fuck up and move on.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so listen, let me jump in on the whole Conor promoting with the UFC thing here, because there's a lot to think about with this, right? On one hand, you kind of think, go fuck yourself, son. Like, didn't work for Fedor, ain't gonna work for you. Like, we ain't co-promoting with nobody, Jack. But this is a different environment. It's not the Fertittas, and the new company's down, presumably still at least fucking $3 billion or so on the fucking on the buy. So they find themselves in an interesting spot where they probably could use that extra million pay-per-view buys. They kind of need that right now, and Conor probably knows that. The thing with this co-promotion thing is, and people have got to understand this about Conor, man. Conor does a good job of promoting fights, but he also does a great job of fighting. Okay, what we have to understand here is that Conor is one loss away from not meriting this position anymore. Right now, hey, man, the UFC might have to give him what he wants, or at least negotiate with the little Irish prick to get him in the cage. They need that million buys. They can't. This isn't the old school where Dana White can get into a pissing match with Conor and say, fuck you. Dana White will get overrode now. And the suits that need that money will be like, all right, fuck it. Let the little prick get a taste. But I don't think they're going to sign some exclusive deal. I think it'll be fight by fight. Because listen, If Conor comes out and gets trashed by Tony Ferguson, make no mistake about it, his stock will drop. Now, could they still sell the trilogy fight with Nate? Sure. If he comes out and gets trashed in that one, it drops again. He fucking fights Khabib or Barbosa and gets knocked out after that, you can forget about it, Jack. We'll be sending him to Bellator. Make no mistake about it. Dog-eat-dog world. He's 2 or 3 losses in a row from being past tense. You've got to win in MMA or we will fucking tarnish you. All of our heroes, Fedor, Anderson, none of those cats really sell or got the same mystique they had. You start losing, Jack, and especially if you're a mouth runner, ask Chael Sonnen how that panned out.
Yeah.
Where the fuck's he at now? Filling out gymnasiums in Bellator.
Especially the new UFC and the new fan base. The hardcore fans like us are fucking outnumbered tremendously. You can tell by these new MMA groups just popping up all over the web. Have you ever just took time and looked on these fucking groups and looked at the posts and the comments? It's fucking silly.
I'll tell you the difference here, okay? If Conor loses the next fight or two, his fan base drops. BJ Penn, tell me you guys are still a fan of BJ Penn.
Listen, I am, but that motherfucker.
You don't want to see him fight, but still.
Right.
Fans.
Well, no, but the point's taken. There was a time where BJ was that dude. When BJ was our Mike Tyson for a while. When BJ fought, you wouldn't. If you was a fight fan, you wouldn't be nowhere on earth but in front of that fucking TV. Now BJ fights on the fucking prelims, and nobody even gives a shit. That's weird. BJ's a good example because he used to be Conor. That dude, he was a multi-fucking division champion. BJ the Prodigy Penn, he my favorite fighter of all fucking time, still is. But yeah, I mean, look where he's at now. Couple years, a few losses, and Conor does not have this negotiating power. But for now, while he does, and while the UFC does need him and he's at his peak, get that money, son. I mean, you can't, closed mouths don't get fed. I know a lot of people are like, fuck Conor, fuck Conor. Hey, man, this is business at the highest level. It's called hardball. You
can't blame him.
Right,
you can't blame him, but that's what pisses me off the most about it, about the promotion getting a share of it. He will get it. He'll fucking get it. Make no mistake about it. Like you said, he will get what the fuck he wants. But my point is, when in the history of the UFC, in the history of belts, interim belts, have you ever had a champion come back and not fight the guy holding the fucking interim strap?
Right.
Being hurt, taking time off, whatever. You got to fucking fight the interim champion.
Sure. And that's part of keeping Conor's legacy and this whole, in order for him to keep these numbers going, he has to prove something. Listen, how do fucking casual dickheads find out about Conor McGregor? From assholes like us. We go, hey, fuckwad, you ever heard of this little Irish prick named Conor? Talks a lot and beats the fuck out of people? Go get on YouTube on your phone. We're the one that spreads the word. So when we tell all the douchebags, yo, if Conor beats this little fucking El Kukui tonight, this means a lot. We do set the narrative for the Bud Light fans. They don't know what the fuck they're looking at until people like us spread the rumor. He needs to fight Tony, and he needs to finish Tony. Keep this fucking ball of fire going.
Yeah, definitely. Now I got a few comments here on YouTube. Shout out to Peter Rose, Joy Tremendous, Liam Hughes, John Smith, Raider, everyone joining in tonight. Appreciate you guys tuning in and hitting us up in the chat. Peter Rose says, "Fuck yes," and if he defends, talking about defending the belt. She says, "Fuck yes," and if he defends it against Nate, then that's a joke. And we all kind of in agreement as far as it should be Tony. Then John says, "We have seen Conor fight a bunch. Who has not been dismantled by Conor? It's a 50-50 war." Or talking about the split, I guess. Sure. But look, as far as this goes, I mean, we've never seen anybody else successfully do this. We're about to see it because you're right. Conor's gonna get his money. Conor's gonna get that promoter share that he wants. I mean, and honestly, he's earned it.
I was fixing to say, like, at this point though, like, would y'all do it? I'd probably do it.
Hell yeah.
Like, if you're the cats that bought the UFC, do you negotiate with Conor? I mean, I've seen the narrative that you don't want to do this because this kind of lets the cat out of the bag, right? Yes, that's a precedent. If Conor can do it, maybe Cody Garbrandt has a big performance. John Jones who the fuck knows, man? Stars are weirdly made overnight sometimes. Who knows who you got trying to pull this stunt in the future? But Conor's a fucking weird enigma, right? And listen, he's coming off the Floyd fight, bruh. We getting that shine. We're at least gonna see what you ain't sneaking away at this point, motherfucker. knows that. Like,
Yeah.
if he, like I said, if he comes back and loses this fight, then this discussion changes completely. But for now, he's kind of got the UFC by the balls to a degree. They need him for this fucking fight.
Look, you negotiate with him, you give him whatever share, not whatever share he wants, but you negotiate the share, right?
Negotiate,
yeah,
right,
you negotiate a share, but then you make that card fire. Like, if you're gonna give a promoter share, you got to make that card so fire that it just it's bought by everybody. Like, you have to do that, because otherwise your return on investment is not going to be anywhere near enough. You know what I mean? And then it's gonna be a mess down the line when McGregor goes, okay, I'm fighting Diaz again. All right, cool. Now I want more promoter share if he beats Tony. So it's
but that's just the risk you gotta take.
Absolutely.
So what did he say? My employees have employees.
Yeah,
I'm promoting fights now. I don't need to fight. Well, take your happy ass on off into the sunset and promote whatever the fuck you want to promote. That's what I was thinking about a while ago. How Fred, you were saying how he's an enigma and how stars are born overnight. I think Darren Till has the possibility to be the next big star, but in my eyes, it's going to be kind of hard to be another Conor McGregor. Will that stick work for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? No, kind of beat in the ground.
No, because it's not a shtick, really. I mean, you see this fucking guy.
Him, yeah. But I'm saying with somebody else.
No, that's
off of him. You know what I'm saying?
Look, here you know what the thing is? Listen, could somebody like Conor work? Fucking A, they could. There's a but the biggest thing, listen, Nate Diaz is Conor McGregor. He just happens to be Mexican and from California and smoke weed. They're the same kind. That's why it was such magic. You just have to be yourself. That's it. When you start trying to be Conor, you look like an ass monkey. Yeah, what the fuck?
Exactly.
But if you're, Jorge Masvidal, it's a damn shame that Jorge hasn't won a couple of his key fights, because he's kind of, speaking of that, not to sidetrack y'all, but did y'all see him?
We'll talk about that right now, because some people are freaked out about it. But yeah. No, but you're right. Masvidal, he's real. There's a few, there's a handful of guys that are real. Nick,
and their personality, but Conor he was special because he won the big fights, called the big shots. He had the Ali thing of calling his shots, but then he backed it up. He had the magic, man. He won the fights when he fought. And then listen, he fucking slayed Jose Aldo in 6 seconds or whatever. You don't come back from that, man. I mean, you can't that's why MMA and fighting is so special and so dope to us, right? Because every event's like the Super Bowl. You can't recreate it, man. Whatever event they were at when he slayed Jose, like, you got to be on your piece, because from that point on, Conor fucking shot somewhere past the moon, man. And that was fucking it. He beating Eddie was the icing on the cake, but Jose was the cake. He talked all that shit, and us hardcores, bro. I was a Conor fan, and I'm like, I don't know if he's got this one, dog. Yeah. This is the one. And when he starts Jose, I was like, oh, forget about it. That's the dude. There's nothing he can't do.
Yeah, Jesse's joining us. Yeah, Jesse joining us from LA. What's up, man?
What's up, boys?
Jesse.
What up, Jesse?
Hey.
What up?
Jesse, we can't hear you, dude.
You can't hear me.
All right, we'll keep going, I guess. But
I can hear. Well, I can hear him. I can hear him, Eddie.
I can't hear him for shit.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
and I can hear Jeremiah.
How the fuck is that? I can't hear him at all. What the hell?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Right.
Eddie has
Jesse, what do you think about this whole thing with Conor trying to be a promoter, or we're trying to get a promoter share now?
I hadn't heard about it, but why not? I mean, he's making the big bucks. He wants to make even more money. Might as well. I mean, why hate on a guy that is trying to make his paper one way or another, right? I mean, he did the boxing thing, and I'm pretty sure the reason he's trying to be a promoter is because he can't be his own boxing. He probably can't do any more boxing unless he becomes his own promoter. So, hey, man, he's gonna make the money. He's gonna cash those checks. We should be happy for him. He's changing the game for everybody else that's coming behind him.
Do you think the UFC actually does it, though?
I don't think they can stop him, especially because if it's boxing, I think he'll be protected under that.
It ain't boxing, bro. He talking about doing that in the UFC, like for his championship title defense.
Oh! You were talking about him taking shares of the UFC, right?
That's he talked about he wanted a promoting angle with his next fight. Like, he don't just want points on the pay-per-view. He wants like a promotional status, which quite frankly, I don't even know what the fuck that actually means exactly. Like what type of cut he thinks he takes at that point, or what all this entails. But
Yeah.
I think he's probably looking at what IMG did with all those famous people. Then, right? Like give them a percentage of the earnings, you know, quarterly, whatever. I mean, even Dana White alluded to the fact that, you know, they weren't going to be able to pay him the way they normally pay fighters in his next fight. They were going to have to structure his deal differently. So, I mean, I think this is just the next step, the next evolution. Yeah, it's just the next step of how these superstars are going to get paid. I think we're just eventually going to go into the boxing model of these guys are just taking their own promotional cut, and the UFC is just kind of like an entity that's like overreaching everybody and has them under their umbrella. That's where you go to watch it.
Okay, let's get realistic here, though. What cut is he going to get? If he's not promoting that fucking card, what the fuck is he going to get? What are they going to give him?
I think they'll probably give him like a cut of that event, maybe like door sales, maybe like some other. They'll incentivize it. I don't think they'll give him like a cut of the company, like you know, like the IMG people are doing with other famous people. You know, like 1-2% or, you know, points or whatever. I think they'll just incentivize him by giving him a lot more options on like door sales and other stuff like that. I think that's where they'll sweeten the pot for him, because I don't think they want to give up, you know. Why?
Because he's going to promote future cards of his own. If he's not promoting that specific card for the UFC, don't make no sense to me.
Oh, I'm just talking about his next, when he's fighting on that card. I don't think they'll give him anything for like overall, because like you said, that wouldn't make any sense unless he's going to be the next Dana White and he's going to be out there in his, you know, FU suit promoting every fight card.
Nope, I don't think that's an option. Eddie, can you still not hear Jesse?
Yeah, I you know what I'm doing? I'm going old school. I have the YouTube video up, so I'm hearing everything like 15 seconds late. But I'm hearing what he's saying. But yeah,
let me restart my app and maybe that'll help it out. I'll be right back then.
Like I don't know why I can't hear him, but
I can hear him real some shit. I was about to say Jesse was calling you a so and so, Jack.
What'd he say, motherfucker? No. Oh man.
So what? That's it for Connor. Yeah, right. Are we done with that?
Yeah. All right. So
Bisping Jorge. Let's talk about that before we segue into 217. Let's let that be our segue. Jesse,
Jesse, say something.
Is this better?
Motherfucker, I can't hear him. Is he talking?
Yeah.
What? How the fuck does that happen? Fucking Google Hangouts, bro.
I can hear him. It's actually loud on my end. I can hear him real good.
I can hear him fine too. I don't know what's going on with Eddie's shit.
All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep old school with this shit, and then yeah. All right,
fair.
All right. Anyway, so here's what happened with Masvidal and Bisping. Now the beef apparently comes from when Bisping tore up or did something with the Cuban flag, right? Romero's flag. And then he was ducking Romero and all that. And then today they ran into each other somewhere outside the elevator and started going back and forth, cussing each other out and shit. And at the very end of that video, now I didn't know about this shit because I didn't watch the whole video. I was like, okay, they're just cussing each other out, whatever. All right, they're not going to fight nothing. But someone told me that he said faggot at the very end. He called Bisping a faggot, right?
Yeah, he did. I heard that.
Yeah. So
I didn't hear that. I was listening, but I couldn't fucking hear it.
It
was literally like the last second of the video.
Really?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. So I had to go back and watch it again just to hear it. And I'm like, holy shit, he says faggot. Like, woof. Right? And so the first thing people start talking about is how come he's not getting shit if Conor got a bunch of shit and Bisping got a bunch of shit when he did it too. All right. But I don't know, the whole thing's weird. Fred, what do you think about that whole thing? It's just no. I get the beef, but still.
What do you mean? What do I think about Jorge using that word, what do I think about?
Let's go with that, and then overall, the whole fucking bullshit. Thing.
I mean, listen, man. As far as that word go, it's one of those things where, like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of get. I mean, listen, things are different now than they were when I was younger. That word. Now, listen, he said it in a fucking like an aggressive, demeaning manner. But like I've used that word before, not in the context that it's supposed, not as a homophobic slur towards gay men. You know what I'm saying? So to that degree, I mean, listen, if you're asking me, do I think that Conor McGregor is a homophobe? I do not. Do I think that Jorge Masvidal is a homophobe or has something against gay people? I highly doubt it. I really don't think so. It's just an old habits die hard thing. I think, honestly, like I don't think he just meant to call him a bitch. Sometimes you can't keep saying bitch or pussy because then you sound like an idiot. Sometimes you got to throw a faggot.
That's what it means. down here in the South.
Hey, listen, that's what it means everywhere. That's what it means in Ireland. That, you know, it's what I don't know, man. Because I am kind of a liberal snowflake. I do get it. I get why gay men don't like motherfuckers using that word, and it's fucking offensive to them. So I understand that. On the same token, Jesus Christ, man, we're gonna get our fucking pitchforks every time somebody. They're fucking fighters, for Christ's sakes. They ain't like they're known for their fucking eloquence.
Exactly.
Let's just call a spade, man. If you really thought he was a homophobe, we'd have something to talk about. But I don't think he was. I think he was just trying to call him a bitch. Now that that's out of the way, I fucking love it. You should. Bisping's one of my favorite fighters right now, man. Yep. Every time I see that prick, he's doing something he shouldn't be or getting into some kind of shit. I mean, I love this kind of shit.
And Masvidal's just fucking real. He is what he is.
Yeah, I mean, they probably will never fight, but, you know, it's like the fucking Nick Diaz Rampage thing in Vegas. I don't know whether that was set up or not, but, you know, it's fun.
That was set up.
I'm down with it. Either way.
Yeah, is Jesse talking? Because this is gonna be funny. I can't hear him.
No,
I'm not talking.
Oh shit, I can hear him. Hold up, talk again.
He wasn't talking.
Say something again, Jesse.
What's up, Ed? Can you hear me now?
Holy shit, you're fucking alive, dude.
No, Eddie.
Fuck.
You're alive, my dude. We've been alive and he's been talking.
All right, dude, I don't fucking get this shit. Go hangouts. All right, let's but Jesse, with this whole thing with first Conor gets a whole lot of shit for it. Masvidal, as far as social media, he didn't get very much shit. All the clickbait and all that shit is all about fucking altercation between Bisping and Masvidal, and then nothing about the fact that he said faggot. But all the Conor ones were about that. What do you think is the difference there? Why do you think that Conor gets more heat than Masvidal does?
I think you were onto something when what was it on the Heel Hook show earlier today, where you said that it's because of his popularity. I think if he has the far-reaching, Reebok sponsorship, some like Coca-Cola sponsorship, that's where people start having the problems with you using these words. I honestly, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why is it such a problem when somebody uses these words in the context that they're used in. Kind of like how you guys alluded to when Bisping was going back and forth with Rockhold and he called him a faggot. Right away, Bisping was like, I shouldn't have said that. But is that really like a big deal? Like, honestly, are we watching him call a gay man a faggot? Like, is he insulting a gay man in front of him? He's not. He's talking to another dude and he's just trying to basically like coax him into doing something, into an action, right? It's kind of the same thing as if like, when Bisping, when he spit into what was it? Was George, whatever his name is, cornerback.
Riviera,
yeah. Jorge.
Yeah, there you go.
Jorge.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It was to incite a reaction. It wasn't like, he's trying to, do this like horrible thing to them or anything. It's trying to incite an action from them. And I think none of these guys should really be penalized for this stuff. I understand. And Fred, you can go ahead and like tell me like how wrong I am about this, but I don't see how it's bad that these guys every once in a while flash off a little word here and there. If like someone calls somebody a cunt or a faggot or any of those things, I mean, I don't see it as being a bad thing. Now, if they're specifically aiming at a community of people and they're, using those words to describe them, or using the word retard to describe a person that's mentally, deficient or anything like that, then I could see where people have a problem. But if it's just like an insult is an insult, man, I don't see where all these things are just getting so out of control. I mean, what was it, Eddie? You would know. Somebody from the NFL earlier was talking about how when we were young, we used to play a game called Smear the Queer. You can't play that game. You can't play that game by that name anymore, but you can still play the game. I mean, it's not meant to be like in how people take it, man.
We're getting into a little of a political area here, but I mean, listen, just because we grew up with it and it was all right when we grew up with it, don't make it right. I mean, motherfuckers used to have slaves about 90 years ago, and I don't think we can be like, hey, man, that's just the way it was when we was coming up.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Some things kind of need to change. And Smear the Queer fucking sucked for the record. I was always the queer.
I was about to say, were you the one? Because that would suck for you.
Play with all fucking black kids that were bigger and faster than me. They hit me so goddamn hard, I fucking wake up the next day.
That's
not to jump subjects, but it kind of goes along with what we're talking about here. What about the Kobe Covington thing? Is that worse?
Oh, wait, we basically said everyone feels.
I mean, what he
is it worse? Is it worse? No, it's not worse. But man, you do that shit in Brazil? God damn.
Man,
hey, right quick, Eddie. Right quick. Hold on one second while we're talking about Mr. Kobe. How many viewers we got watching right now?
We keep flowing between like 10 and like 15. We're going back and forth.
Kobe Covington, if you're watching, don't be dodging the Hawker MMA show, my dog. You done send me 2 messages, then sent me your number. I done called your fucking ass. I done texted your fucking ass. Pick up the phone, buddy. Don't have to worry about tomorrow.
There you go. All right. Yeah, but the thing with Brazil, man, he just basically shit talked the entire country. But they did fucking, kind of let him have it, right?
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm giving. If you are watching Kobe, you will probably never want to speak to me again because I am coining you Kobe Cheese Covington. Because, quite frankly, in the words of GSP, I was not impressed.
No
performance, and I wasn't impressed with that bullshit afterwards. Now, I'll tell you this: it fucking worked. I'll give you that. People are fucking stupid, man, and it worked like a fucking goddamn fucking card trick. Everybody's talking about Kobe Covington. He literally took the play right out of Chael Sonnen fucking handbook.
Oh yeah,
right down to the race of people. He fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, at least have
the new Red Penny Night.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a little cheesy in that regard, to be honest, because we've heard this shtick about Brazil. I almost wish he would have done it about Connor in Ireland, or I don't give a fuck, one of the Polish pricks or something. We haven't heard those jokes or those Chael literally did this. So, I mean, listen, I can hate all I want. It worked. I'll say that. Yeah, like he won the fight and he got the notoriety that he was looking for. But quite frankly, it rubbed me the wrong way.
What if that shit was in the States or in the United States, or somebody pulled that shit like a Brazilian fighter? Would the backlash be any different? Hell fucking yes.
Yeah.
Well, hometown pride and all like that, I suppose. Obviously, it'd be a little different.
Did y'all catch his interview Ariel, when he said somebody knocked at his door and his pops was tripping, thought somebody was going to murder him?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, knocked on his motel room door that night.
Oh, yeah.
They got Covington out of that arena so fast, though. You see that shit? They fucking grabbed him and, like, shoved him right to the back. It's fucking kind of dumb.
But wasn't that kind of iconic, though? Like, that image is like, embedded in my head right now of that fight, of them rushing him out and all these bottles and stuff being thrown at him. I mean, if you're looking for a way to market yourself, that's awesome.
Can somebody get a dictionary and show Jesus the word iconic and what it iconic these Roys, Jack? Kobe Cheese Covington is nowhere near the word iconic. I don't give a fuck what he did in Brazil that night.
Fred, you're telling me that the UFC is not going to use that as a marketing to market him next time? They're not going to show that clip of him being literally policed out of there. Listen, like, they're going to use that. That's going to be used from now on. Every time Kobe Covington.
I think it goes nowhere. I think about a week or so you won't hear no more about Kobe Covington.
Really?
He fights again.
Really?
I don't know. Ben Saunders is keeping his name in the news mix, and
that shit was tight. I like that.
Ben, here's the thing, because attached to the thing with Covington, right? He's kind of alienated himself from ATT. Talk about the founder was a fucking con artist and a bunch of shit, and Killer B was not having it. He was upset as fuck. So, and not to mention, Bigfoot Silva, a lot of Brazilians. Even Walt Harris isn't even Brazilian. He was just like, hey, he alienated a bunch of people at ATT. I don't know what to tell you. So, it wasn't career suicide, but it bumped his name up, but he definitely pissed off a ton of teammates, especially with the shit he said about the founder.
Listen, I hate him and want to see him get beat up like Floyd Mayweather. No. So at the end of the day, it worked. I didn't care about Colby Covington one way or the other going into that fight. It was kind of cool because he was fighting Damian Maia, but real talk, I tuned in for Damian. Now, Colby's next fight, I'll tune in for Colby, even if it is to see him get his face punched in. So it worked.
Yeah. If he did fight Woodley would fuck his shit up.
I mean, at this point, I don't care who he fights. I'm tuning in hoping he gets thunderstruck. So it like low-key made me a fan in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is to see him get beat. Like, Floyd's still the highest draw on pay-per-view because everybody wants to see him lose.
Yeah. Now, on the YouTube comments here, Liam says, still, do we want to be seen as a normal sport or as outcasts? The organization has to condemn this kind of thing for mainstream viability. You agree there, Fred?
On what point? What are we talking about?
On basically like shutting that shit down. The UFC telling guys like Colby, be like, hey, don't fucking do that. You know, if you want to be mainstream.
I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, we want to be mainstream in that we want to generate as much money and notoriety for the fighters as possible, but we definitely want to keep our unique persona in that, like, I don't know, man. It's a touchy subject. I don't give a fuck. As a casual / hardcore MMA fan, like, I don't personally care about, and it's different too, man. The faggot slur, I can see people getting their panties in a bunch, and I kind of understand people. You need to chill, or you're going to get fined, or whatever. The shit that Colby Covington did, whatever, man. That shit was so like cartoonish in a way. Like, I'm kind of surprised the Brazilians let that dude get him that riled up. To be honest with you, like, he knows exactly what he's doing. And he's trying to get a rise out of them. It's a little different. I don't think that really. What they gonna do? Tell him to be nice to the Brazilians? What the fuck?
Yeah. Raider says, I don't know. I like the rawness. And then Priya goes, my favorite part was him rejecting the translator. I remember that. Now.
We don't need a fucking translator. But MMA has always been the outcast sport. I mean, fighters are fucking crazy. Fighters are fucking nuts. And us hardcore fans, we're fucking outcasts. If you really think about it.
Yeah,
MMA is always going to be the outcast sport, man. It's a fucking blood sport. Gladiators.
It's true. It's different. It's definitely different. You know, it ain't fucking tennis, man. It's unlike any other one-on-one sport there is, for sure. So, I mean, you would imagine that the type of people who compete in the sport are fucking unique personalities. So, love them or hate them, this is what you get. And listen, man, fuck it, right? Everybody ain't gonna be George St. Pierre or Wonder Boy, man. It is what it is. This is you gotta cast the characters, man. You pick and choose who you like and who you want to see get beat up. Why can't we just root for Jorge Masvidal to get beat up now, right? Like Colby Covington. Do I want to see him get banned from the sport? Fuck no. This is the sport where we punch each other in the face. I just want to see him take a beating. You know, Jorge. If I'm a gay man and it really offends me, I can't wait to see your next one. He fights fucking in 2 days. I just become the biggest fucking Wonder Boy fan in the world, right? If I'm really offended, I'm like, fucking hey, thunder kick him right in that fucking shit talking mouth of his.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Do that in this sport, right? What more ultimate justice? Fuck that courtroom. You don't like it? Root for Wonder Boy.
Yeah, for those that want to send Jesse links and all that stuff, his is this one right here, Sport 1983. That's his Twitter handle. Send him stuff there. Anyway, Priya says you have to be nuts to get in the cage and fight with almost no rules. What did it used to be called? No holds barred. Pretty much. Exactly. That's what it was at the beginning. And honestly, the guys that are fighting now are the ones that saw those, right? The first couple UFCs where it was fucking psycho shit. Those are the guys that are fighting now. So it's it's kind of. You kind of got to expect it, but I'm kind of with Liam on this. You got to regulate it a little bit. Like Chelsea, yeah. Like someone pointed out, I forgot who it was, and I apologize if I don't say your name, but someone said, Chelsea used to call out like 2-3 people at a time, and then say Brazil had no internet. He said the Nogueira brothers try to fucking to saddle a bus and feed it a carrot. That's funny. And Brazil has no internet. Okay, but Brazil having no internet to you're all filthy animals is a large jump, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but people. Listen, Chell said that and he got rewarded for his behavior, right? Like he became a big draw. People aren't stupid. They see that and they play on. And listen, it just worked for Colby. Make no mistake about it. There's some young little dickhead out there right now tearing a page out of now Colby Cheese Covington's playbook, and they'll be pulling this stunt. Don't be surprised if you see somebody pull some bullshit at the next UFC. This is just going to be par for the course.
Connor done it. Nobody said shit. He talked about turning Aldo's favela into a sweatshop. Yeah, nobody said shit. They laughed like a motherfucker. You never heard nothing about that.
Yeah.
But I also think it was the context and what it was said. I think the way Colby said it is what is inciting all this. You know, Chael, everything he said, you could always take it with like as a joke. I mean, he was always saying he was undefeated, that he was a champ. What was that one with Helwani, where he was like, "Yeah, I ran and won by a landslide or something." And they were like, "Well, nobody opposed you." He's like, "Yeah, that's true, but you know, I still won."
Yo, sorry, Jesse, I just gotta say while we're talking about this, the funniest shit ever is when Chael was talking about fucking getting tapped by Anderson. Hey, yo, that motherfucker said, "I thought that just meant he won the round. I thought I thought I still won the fight," with a straight look on his mug. I'm like, yo, Chael's a beast.
You gotta hand it to him, man.
Yeah, sorry.
Jesse, you're saying?
No, that's it. I think that's the context that he said, like, in such a hateful, like, just pissed off way, you know. And then his apology really didn't help him any when he said that he was apologizing to, you know, any what was it, filthy animals that he might have offended with comparing him to Brazilians. So I mean,
well, that's bullshit. It's a double-edged sword with him. He said he tried to apologize. He said that shit after he came down the tunnel and they threw the shit on him. He's gonna die, blah blah blah. But before the build up to the fight, you said the same shit. They was already pissed. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that and say I said all of that because when I was coming down the tunnel, they did this, blah 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 blah. You had already said the shit before the fucking fight. Of course, they was gonna fucking do that shit to you.
Is Colby married?
I don't know.
Well, say, goddamn, did he really ruin a chance to get all that fine Brazilian pussy by running his mouth? He couldn't have came up with a different way to promote himself.
If he's not married, he ruined it already.
You ain't getting no Brazilian booty now. Fuck that strategy. We had to come up with something different.
Yeah, the sparring partners will be holding on to chokes and fucking cranks a little longer now.
Damian Maia's a big dork. I can find something else to talk about other than Brazil. I need to get some trim while I'm there. Let's talk about hair or some shit like that.
Yeah, Raider says, Fred, I want to see broken arms and more Heather Hardy masks.
Yeah.
Look, that's one of the reasons people watch. What are you going to do?
It is.
All right. And then Priya says, "Oh, okay, so we're kind of doing what Colby wants, and he's kind of irrelevant till we look forward to him against a striker."
Yeah,
but he's getting what he wants. That's a good point that she made. You know, he's getting what he wants. Everyone's talking about him, but Jeremiah, you think that's going to be gone next week?
Kinda. I don't see him. He's not the likable heel. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He don't have that it factor to me. That's just me. I mean. I'm just a hick from the sticks, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's got their own opinions.
Dude, remember when we did that you just brought up a fucking old ass memory? What's that show that we fucking did? Like we did one episode of. It was me, you, and Fred.
The hick and the prick, man. We got
something like that. Yeah. That shit. That just reminded me. I completely forgot about that shit. Oh man, that was funny.
You know, out of all of the MMA podcast shows that we do, that will be the show that will take off in modern day, you know what I'm saying? Shit talking, drama, politics. Fuck, man. We should have kept doing that shit.
We can. We have to figure out a time and shit.
Yeah. It's all about timing.
Anyway, all right, Jesse, anything else anything else you guys want to talk about before we dig into this 217?
Now, let's get to 217. We're running. Right. We only got about 20 minutes here, so let's do 217. Are we going to do the whole card or just the
we're going to talk
a lot of good fights, man.
Yeah. We'll talk to the first three fights, and then of course the Masvidal fight we'll talk about, and then little by little, if you guys want to touch on the prelims here. All right. So obviously UFC 217 this Saturday, November 4th. UFC Fight Pass early prelims are at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. FS1 prelims are 8 and 5 respectively, and then main cards 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Headlined by the returning former welterweight champion George St. Pierre taking on middleweight champ Michael the Count Bisping.
God, how weird is that? Where are we at? Where are we at? Where the fuck are we at? And Donald Trump is the president. Where the fuck are we at right now? God damn.
It's a fucking weird fight because the former, I mean, he could be the best welterweight to ever do it, right?
Probably. And
he's coming back 4 years later, or 4 years after his, he stepped away, retired, whatever you want to call it. Comes back and he's fighting for the middleweight championship. Okay, 15 pounds up. I don't know if you guys seen pictures. He looks fucking weird. You can tell he's an 85er now, but he's a short 85er. Meanwhile, shorter by like 3 inches. By the way, he's not much shorter. He's not too much shorter than Bisping. But Fred, first of all, when we all talked about the main event when it first got made, I was just like, okay. Honestly, I'm still like, okay. Like, all right. Cool.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Bisping has completely turned me around on this one.
Yeah.
I was not really into this fight at all when they first announced it. I figured 85 and 70 are both deep. We could find fights for fucking George and Bisping at their respective weight classes that would be funner and better, more even. This one, I could think of a dozen reasons why I didn't like this fight in the beginning, but fucking Bisping and that mouth and that eye, he sold me on it, man.
The eye.
He just keeps going and keeps talking, and fuck it, I'm down with it now. And I guess maybe there's just a little bit of, we're on the roller coaster at this point. Might as well just buckle up and raise your fucking hand. Like, it's happening. So let's just do the damn thing. But I'm kind of excited for it now. I mean, we don't got a whole lot of fights to look forward to. Maybe it's also the fact that this whole card is good. So it just adds a little bit. Like, I'm super fucking pumped for the card now. And I'm pretty pumped for this fight. I think GSP is going to get a fucking beating. I don't think it's going to be close. I mean, I think Bisping is going to trash George. I don't think he's big enough for 85. He hasn't been active. Styles make fights. I don't think his style is right to beat Bisping. And even for the style he has, he's just literally not big enough to impose that game plan on Bisping. Maybe he will be, but I don't think he is. But it's interesting, right? We still get to see George after 4 years, different weight division, against the champ, which is Bisping, which sounds weird in and of its fucking self.
Yep.
So for just the weird fucking odd factor, this fight's pretty cool, man. After this fight, either George St. Pierre or still the cockeyed wonder himself will be the king of 185 in 2017. That's fucking gnarly, man. Either way, however this fight plays out, if George wins, that's extremely interesting, right? Does he keep the belt? Does he fight Robert Whittaker? Does he drop it? Does he go down? If Bisping wins, fuck, man, he still shouldn't be the goddamn champ anyway. So finally, his next fight, either he retires, which makes 85 super interesting again, or we see him, get snuffed out by fucking Robert Whittaker, presumably. Either way, good shit and interesting leading up to it, and going to leave us with a real interesting vibe afterwards.
No, I hear that. Jeremiah, with this fight, everyone's talking about, if Bisping wins, he's talking about walking away. Is GSP going to fucking, fight Whittaker? Most people are saying no. What do you want to see out of this fight?
Well, that's the thing. Where does it go from here? And first, I want to bring up, did y'all watch the little show that Chael Sonnen does when he's driving in his car going down the road? What's the name of it?
I know what you're talking about. Like fucking Conversations with Uncle Chael or some horse shit like
something like that.
Yeah, well, he fought Bisping, trained with St. Pierre, and he said St. Pierre is stronger than Bisping.
Yeah, I did see that.
So I don't know if the size will be that much of a difference, but I'm afraid, and I've been sticking with my guns on this fight. I think Bisping's going to trash him. He looks slow and fat, and the 4-year layoff, I don't give a fuck how good you used to be. You're 4 years older, and the time that he's been gone, Bisping's been fighting the who's who in the division. And like you said, Eddie, if GSP does win, where the fuck does he go? And in the top 5, do y'all agree that maybe Whittaker will be the best matchup for him? But then again, I see Whittaker trashing him on the fucking feet. That's how stacked the division is. The top 5, Whittaker will probably be the best matchup for GSP if he wins. Where does he go? I really don't fucking know. I really don't know. And this fight is kind of a toss-up. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the fuck's going to happen until let's get it on.
Now, my thing is I think if GSP wins, we're talking, I almost guarantee. I feel like he's going to be like, let me fight Tyron Woodley, champion versus champion.
I was going to say that. Did you hear what Woodley said?
What did he say?
They said, what show was he on? He was talking to Kenny Florian.
Okay.
Saying, what is his next fight? And he said he thinks his next fight is going to be the winner of GSP Bisping.
Bro, I heard
That's what he said.
I heard that the winner has to fight Robert Whittaker, even if
in
George
contract.
wins.
I thought that was in the contract.
Yeah, that's why I heard this. George signed that in the contract that if he beats Michael, he has to defend the belt against Robert. Now, after that, it's up for debate. But in the contract, if he wins, his next fight is Robert Whittaker at the title of the
So he can't vacate and go down to welterweight.
It's that interim belt thing, bro. They're not. I mean, the UFC does some sticky shit. Conor will fight Tony. George changes the universe because he's George. But after we get this one out of the way, Robert gets his shot. Period.
Yeah. Now, Priya Rose talking about GSP. She says, "I heard he's been training regularly with the Danaher Death Squad, and Gordon, Ryan, Gary, Tony, those kind of guys. And he moves his takedowns away from the fence, so he'll get it. So his get up or getting up will be harder, and he's got a longer reach than Bisping, by the way. I think by like an inch. Yeah. So, Raider says, yeah, Bisping sold the shit out of this fight. Apparently, man, Fred's on board, 100%.
He did, bro. He did. I mean, for me at least, man, he has been, showing up drunk to the press conference and just touching George and fucking with George the whole time. Hey, listen, even his horse shit with Jorge and, Bisping's been shot out of a cannon this whole time, man. He's really done his job pretty well as far as promoting shit goes. I mean, as good as you can against George, who gives you nothing in return.
Hey, one quick thing before we move. I'm still on the topic, but how many times have you seen Bisping held down and dominated on the ground?
Nah, Chael might have been the last guy.
Or Tim Kennedy.
Tim Kennedy, right.
But that those are it. Those are the two guys right there. And I still say Tim Kennedy was juiced out of his mind towards the end.
I was getting ready to say.
It's fucking huge. His thighs were bigger than my head.
Then he fought in Canada and got fucking massacred by Kelvin Gaston.
I used to hate Bisping, but he has won me over too. And it was about a month ago. I rewatched the fight with him and Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Dude is a fucking soldier, man. You can say what you want to say about the end of that, third round when he got the knee or whatever. Yeah. But if you watch that fight, take away that fucking knee knockdown at the end of the third. Bisping won that fucking fight, man.
Yeah.
And he was distracted. Anderson low-key cheap shot at him.
He got the mouthpiece.
Yeah, he won that fucking fight.
Yeah. Real quick, Pre-Rose says they could both end up retiring. GSP if he loses and Bisping if he wins, which he should. And then John says, I think Bisping is scared to fight the Cuban, really. I don't know. I don't know about that.
No, he ain't scared. He just wanted a big payday before he does retire. And he deserves it. What the fuck? He's been getting fucking cross-eye beat for years now.
Jesse, you seen a retirement there from either guy?
I would hope that Bisping retires if he wins. Just because it'd be good to watch him kind of end his career, ending the long streak of GSP, in title fights, ending that, and then ending himself his career after, what was it? What do you say? 10 years of, chugging along, like Jeremiah said. I mean, he's been in some major fights where he was just bludgeoned, and he still kept coming, lost an eye basically to this sport. I mean, he deserves to kind of get this payday and kind of just, get carried out of here. But I'm just excited to see this fight go down, guys. I mean, I think I just think that GSP is that type of guy that is a throwback fighter that was so good at one thing. You knew what he was going to do, yet he still beat you with it, And so it's kind of interesting for me to see how that kind of style is going to match up against a guy like Bisping, who's just super active, super tough, and you literally have to kill Bisping to put him away. And not many people have been able to do that. I mean, that Anderson Silva knee, I also saw it just a few days ago, like Jeremiah. I mean, most guys would have been completely out cold with that knee, and Bisping was still, chugging along, trying to get back into that fight. So I just don't see how GSP can generate any amount of power to put him away. If GSP is able to win, I think it's just going to be a decision. But the longer it goes, I think the more in Bisping's favor it is. So I just think Bisping squishes him like a bug.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing about it too, Bisping, like you gotta admire like his self-belief. Everyone else talks about Conor's self-belief and whatever. Yeah. Michael Bisping had to fight roid heads, kept losing #1 contender fights. Those are hard fucking fights to get, and he still kept at it. And then he fucking took the opportunity that was given to him on short notice and fucking owned it. So I've been a Bisping fan since I started watching MMA, honestly, because the dude's funny as shit. His shit talk to me is hilarious. So
he is skilled. He is talented. He dominated the Tough Show. There was no competition.
Was that season 3? Season 3.
Yeah, he was just so much better than everybody.
That was that light heavy too,
205.
Man. I mean,
that's why I didn't like him.
He had a good career at light heavyweight, to be honest.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah. All right, so let's do some picks here. Fred, who are you taking?
Oh, Bisping. I got that. Listen, this is MMA, Jack, right? If George comes out and throws a fucking tornado roundhouse kick and knocks Bisping out, we've seen wilder shit, but I assume Bisping wins this fight.
All right, Jeremiah.
I'm picking Bisping, and one thing we hadn't touched on, one reason why I'm picking Bisping, and I'm going to use a Conor McGregor analogy. I see GSP being stuck in the mud in this fight. Footwork in this fight. You got the fight starts standing. To get that takedown, you got to work in. You got to work your movement to get the takedown. He just don't look good. You know what I'm saying? Chubby, slow. Yeah. So I'm going Bisping. He looks stuck in the mud to me.
Everyone in the comment section says just post your picks and I'll read them off. Jesse.
I'm just gonna be crazy and pick GSP because I think his intelligence and his style can actually create problems for Bisping. I agree with you guys. I don't think the 4 years off and the extra weight is gonna help him much. And I think Bisping's been a lot more active. He's been fighting killers. So he should be sharp enough to take out GSP. But I just would love to see GSP win this belt and then, you know, fight against Robert Whittaker and see what he can do there, man. That'd just be a great showcase of a great champion. But yeah, I'm just gonna pick GSP just to be crazy.
All right. John says the Cuban can hold him down. He has the right tools to beat him. Talking about Romero. Let's see. Liam says Liam's picking Bisping. George Mendes says this dude. He goes, George Mendes says I'm picking GSP, but don't make bets based on my pick. I just have a feeling. All right. Raider says Bisping 3rd round TKO. Ooh, specific as shit. I'm taking Michael Bisping TKO 5th round. We're talking like it's gonna be like some crazy shit left back and forth, you know, left and right, and then Bisping just finishes him at the end. Because I do think that that GSP is gonna gas out. I think the extra weight is gonna add on there, so it's gonna be a little bit crazy.
Honestly, bro, now if we push ourselves to that, I think that fucking Bisping will get like a 1st or 2nd round finish.
I think it'll be quick too.
I think he is going to dominate George, bro. Like he's so much bigger. Like not that he's a huge middleweight, but he ain't a fucking small one, man. Like we just said, he did all right at 205, man. I just think he is going to be way too much for George after way too long of a layoff. And I think them punches are going to fucking hurt little old George. You can gain all the weight you want, but you're used to getting hit by 70ers.
Yeah.
Bisping isn't known for his punching power, but he is known for precision, and he is known for his striking in general. I just don't think.
Well, not just that, Fred. Though you got to look at how Jason Perillo has been advancing Bisping's game. His striking game has been getting better and better from each fight. I mean, he got a little crazy with Dan Henderson, ate a couple shots because he was kind of showing off his striking, but. The other thing that impressed me the most about Bisping is he's smart in who he brings in to train with them. Yeah. I was listening to Luke Thomas today, and he was saying that they found these like 2 young brothers that are like just wrestling like phenoms.
Oh yeah.
And Jason Perillo was like, "Hey, come and help Bisping train." So I mean, Bisping, you know, for everything that he's doing, drinking, you know, being drunk all the time, he's taking this fight seriously. So we're gonna see a really, really well trained Bisping against an old GSP. And, you know, I still think that GSP, he's smart enough to know what he's getting himself into. I think he definitely had a kind of Randy Couture moment where he's on the couch and he's like, oh, Bisping's a champ? Yeah, I think I could beat that guy. I could come back and beat that guy. So, you know, I think it's just an interesting matchup.
John Smith makes a good point. He says GSP wrestling will be everything. I think bringing in the coach is a hoax. He's talking about Freddie Roach. He says, guys, no one has seen him for 4 years, and that's my point. That's also my point. Part of my point as well. He's been gone for 4 years. I get it. No one's seen him for 4 years. We don't know what he's capable of. But if you go off of memory, what he used to be really good at was that wrestling. And who knows if he's big enough to take. I mean, I'm sure he could take Bisping down. Can he keep him down?
Right.
It's a whole different. Yeah.
He's got he does have the reach, but still, Bisping's the bigger fighter. And the footwork, like we said, he's got to catch him first.
Yeah, agreed. All right, moving on to the co-main event of the evening. A lot of people saying this is a real main event, but it's Cody Garbrandt defending the belt against former teammate TJ Dillashaw. This fight was supposed to happen at UFC 213, I believe, and then Cody injured his back, had to have a bunch of, had to have work on it, whatever. Now we're getting the fight. Jeremiah, your thoughts on this fight?
I'm picking Cody, man. I think he's just the new age mixed martial artist. He's artist. He's like the hybrid. The new age fighter, you know what I'm saying? Boxing, wrestling, everything. But we got to take into effect, we can't say who looked the best against Cruz, we can't even talk about that. For some reason, I think he's going to dominate him. He's going to be too fast on the feet. But then again, is it going to be a wrestling match too? And they're pretty even on the mat, I would say. But I still give the edge to Cody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, TJ looked a little slow last fight. Now that I think about it, who did he fight? Sunsao? Yeah, Sunsao, whatever.
Yeah, but he used his wrestling in that fight. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he did a little bit. He mixed it up.
Yeah.
He used a lot of wrestling against John Lineker.
There you go. Yeah. All right, Jesse, who you picking and why?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Jeremiah. I think Cody is the better guy, and I think the thing is that everybody draws comparison of TJ Dillashaw's style to Dominic Cruz. And there's a real reason for that, because if you put them side by side, they are using a lot of foot movement. They're using a lot of angles. They're using a lot of the same things. Now, TJ Dillashaw was supposedly younger, better, faster, and that style didn't really translate well and didn't help him against Dominic Cruz. And then you saw what Cody did against Dominic. He was able to really negate his wrestling, really able to counter the counter puncher, and really just beat him to the punch at every time. Even though Dominic was still able to, pop him here and there after getting countered, he just wasn't like fast enough. And I think that's the key here. I think Cody is fast enough to really negate anything that TJ is going to bring to the table. And I agree with Jeremiah though. In one aspect, in that Cody's wrestling is going to be better, although. Professionally, TJ is the one that had the higher wrestling career. I think Cody is the one that's been able to merge it better, really mix it up. Like Jeremiah said, he's that new age fighter that really just mixes everything together so well that he can transition from anything, whatever you're going to throw at him, and he's still going to pop you, put hands on you, and put you to sleep. So I think this ends pretty quickly, pretty violently. I say in the second round, Cody TKO.
Damn. All right. Counter the counter punch is why I'm picking Cody. Cruz is very good at that. He's good at countering people and finding the angles to counter him through. TJ's similar in that way. I think Cody's just better at it. He's good. He knows where the counters are coming from. He counters those real well. So I'm taking him probably like late TKO, maybe 4th, 5th round. And then on the comments, Joey Tremendous taking Cody by knockout in the 4th. Priya Rose says, I want Cody to go straight to basically win to fight DJ. But I think he could be DJ. So I'd rather be. Oh, she wants to see TJ or Dom against DJ. So it's kind of All right, I get that. All right, Fred, picking.
Fuck, man, this is a really good fight. And listen, I think a lot of people are going to pick Cody, right?
Right.
There's a lot of reasons to pick Cody in this fight. But since all y'all pick Cody and everybody's picking Cody, and I can't stand y'all, why not? We'll start a little argument point. I'm going to list the reasons why I think that TJ Dillashaw could win this fight. A couple things. A, and this probably has nothing to do with nothing, but I'm just going to say it because it makes me feel good. There's a little footage of old Cody floating around getting completely fucking starched out in his amateur career. I don't know if you guys ever seen this before, but he gets put to fucking sleep, Jack, by a no-namer. Now, I know that was early in his career and it don't count for nothing, but this wasn't like a TKO, get the ref off of him. This was a fucking... fucking hands stiffen up and shit. Like, I know this was about 7-8 years ago, early in his career, but seeing him get put to sleep like that could happen once, could happen twice. Now, the next point is, there's going to be a lot of comparisons made to the Dominic Cruz fight, right? That's their one common opponent that they both have that happened recently. I think that's a bad thing to do because the difference is, and I think maybe the difference in this fight could end up being, Dwayne Ludwig. So Dwayne Ludwig is TJ's striking coach, and he's a beast. He has transformed TJ, who is a relatively shitty striker and just basically a fucking wrestle fucker, and made him low key one of the best strikers in this fucking sport. So like good
overnight.
Yeah, basically
fucking striker against Henry Barrow,
Yeah, kind of basically. Right. To the point to where TJ flat followed Dwayne because he believed so much in his teachings. So there's something to be said for that. I think that Cody probably it strikes harder and is probably a little quicker. But TJ's timing and accuracy may be a little better. And more importantly, I think he's more creative. And I think that Dwayne Ludwig will help him with that creativeness. And the difference with this fight is Dwayne used to coach Cody. Dwayne and TJ know a fuckload about Cody's game, where he's strong, where he's not, way more than we dickheads know. You know what I'm saying? Now, vice versa too, but TJ still has Dwayne on his side. So he's still got that kind of Greg Jackson-esque character. All due respect, who does fucking Cody got? Uriah? Fucking Chris Holdsworth?
Justin, what's his last name?
Yeah, Buckholz.
Yeah, Buckholz.
Yeah.
He's a Muay Thai.
He dipped out too, right?
No,
He's
Justin
gone.
Buckholz, he's still there. He's just a Muay Thai coach.
Yeah,
he's just
but
not the
he's
head
not the head coach.
I thought he left entirely.
No, Jesse's right. He's not the head coach anymore. He's just Muay Thai only coach. Apparently, they're doing this like 5 head coach type of thing now.
Listen, I don't give a fuck if
Right,
he is
right.
the striking coach. He's no fucking Dwayne Ludwig. That's my
Agreed.
point. If it's Justin Bullcoats, how do you say his fucking last name, versus Dwayne Ludwig, the game plan might be interesting. Listen, this is a very close fight. There's no wrong answer to this. I would probably pick Cody ordinarily, but for the sake of argument, I'll pick TJ for the reasons I just listed. But either one of these dudes could sleep the other one. These little fuckers are accurate. They're strong. They're fast. They hit hard. Both of them. So, I picked TJ 3rd round TKO. But if Cody slept, dude, it wouldn't surprise me either,
Yeah,
But-
I'm with you.
The thing we have to take into consideration too is that what's his name? TJ's in the middle of a gym move. I don't know if you guys heard, but goes down over in Denver, and now he's trying to start up a place out here in California, Southern California to be exact. That bastard has to be in my neck of the woods. But anyway,
I love that Southern California is your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Probably
Didn't know
Brad
it was
Pitt's neck of the woods, my dude.
That's a good point.
I don't know about that. I think he's over in like some other country at this point, hiding from his ex-wife. Anyway, yeah, I think that's a big factor that we also have to look at, is the fact that a transition like that is definitely going to affect you, especially because he was training in Denver at elevation, getting his cardio, to be on point. Now he's at sea level, and we remember how sea level Kane was, how big of a difference that was for Cain Velasquez. A guy that relies heavily on his conditioning. That could definitely affect his performance here. So that's another thing to look at.
I talk a lot with TJ's main sparring partner for this camp and previous camps, Chepe Machine Gun Mariscal. He's a member of the Hardcore MMA group, and he said TJ's ready. He said he's ready. Expect something new in his fight. So I don't know what that means.
He gonna need it. He gonna need it, whatever new shit, because his game is similar-ish to Cruz. So that'll be crazy.
Speed difference too. Cruz had TJ whiffing like a motherfucker, missing like hell.
Okay, now real quick, Priya's asking, so we're gonna jump on this because this is actually kind of relevant, actually pretty relevant. Rose asking, can I ask, what do people think about the Chris Holdsworth stuff? If you guys don't know, it was kind of rumored for a while, right? But then Uriah Faber and Cody Garbrandt jumped on the Joe Rogan Experience and specifically talked about how T.J. Dillashaw is the one that ended Chris Holdsworth's career.
Chris himself was on the Ariel show the other day.
Was he? I didn't see that.
He was.
You didn't see that?
No,
Yeah,
I
he confirmed it.
Damn, Eddie, how you gonna be the host and so misinformed? I thought you was about to tell us that. Yeah,
Right.
Chris Holdsworth on Ariel confirming the story.
Yeah, said he shot for a double leg. TJ sprawled. Chris was on all fours, and he need him in the fucking head.
Yeah, that's the one where Uriah
Now,
Cody said
hold on.
too.
Hold on. Since I'm on this TJ Dillashaw kick,
Go ahead.
devil's advocate. What's to say that Chris Holdsworth isn't just catering to his buddies and fucking throwing old TJ under the train, right? I mean, is that possible?
Before the TJ fallout with Team Alpha Male, though, they've always talked about him being a hothead and
That's
roughing
true.
people up in practice before the split, way before the split.
But you know what? I know Fred will know this, because I know he's a fan of our buddy Luke Thomas over there. Luke has always said, if he was such a bad guy and he had such a bad reputation, why didn't you kick him out of the gym? If you why didn't you kick him out?
And Uriah's loyal, though, man.
Well, but hold on. In all honesty, why didn't you kick him out of the gym? Fuck, because he's a moneymaker. because he's a guy that'll probably be fighting for a day. Yeah, let's not play coy, because I heard Luke say that, but I'm thinking you don't kick him out because he's a fucking winner. And if that dude becomes a champion, let's not act stupid. We all want him in the gym promoting the gym. You know, this is how this thing works. The more champions you got on Alpha Male, the more fucking gym memberships you sell. You know what I'm saying? The Machida era and whatnot.
But he's also ending people's careers. I mean, you don't want a guy. It's kind of like if you had a what's that?
Settle down. He ended one guy's career, not people's.
No, but I mean, they keep saying that he was competitive in every aspect. You know, they were saying that he'd run to go get water, push people out of the way. You know, just.
I'm getting the water first, cocksuckers.
I'm showering first, bitches.
But you know what though? I agree with you guys saying that, like, this is probably true though, because if a guy's that competitive, I mean, I'm pretty competitive. I don't know to that extent where I'm going to shower first and, you know, eat first or whatever the hell. But I mean, you know, if you're that competitive and somebody gets an edge on you, you're definitely gonna be the crazy guy to knee somebody in the face or, you know, have those extra shots. So I'm thinking that maybe this is all true, and maybe TJ is kind of a dick, man.
I'm gonna rock the boat and say it was a fucking roid rage. Y'all seen his physique post you cited too though? I seen a comparison online the other day, man. Big fucking difference.
Chris Holdsworth said that for what it's worth in the interview. He flat said he accused him of taking steroids.
Said he did, yeah.
Yeah, he flat said he did.
But John Smith says one knee and that ends his career. So now why not come out that day? That's a good question. Why not come out sooner and just wait till now for that to happen? Maybe because he's I mean, team guy, I guess. I don't know. It's the whole thing is just weird. The whole fucking story is weird. And by the way, I just can't watch Ariel's show. His voice annoys the fuck out of me. I'm just being honest. I can't handle it. So I wait till all the interviews are out and you guys tell me what the fuck is up and we'll get together.
I feel you, but like I couldn't miss the Chris Holdsworth shit, man. That was such a big thing going into 217, and like I had to hear his side of the story. Listen, going by what he said, it's hard not to call TJ a creep, you know? Still rocking with him, but
unfortunately, the reason I don't listen to Ariel's show is because I don't have 10 hours to dedicate to his show.
That's the other thing. MMA hours, like 8 hours. Yeah. Anyway, real quick before we move on to the next fight, Liam Hughes says one back concussion can affect you for life. Can't comment on that case, but it can happen. Good point. Priya says I think it's true to a degree, but I think they're all pretty competitive, and that they call them out for pretty regular sucker punches and stuff. So they made the connection, but there's more to it. That's what I'm saying. There's more to the story than we know, and I'm sure depending on who wins, we're gonna hear some more about it later on.
Oh yeah,
because that one fucking knee. I mean, damn, don't go train with Kane and Luke and fucking DC then.
Okay, they'll fuck you up. All right. Off to the women's strawweight title fight. Champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk taking on Rose Namajunas, who's fighting for the title for the second time. You guys remember she was? Yeah. Oh shit. All right, calling your shot. You can go first, Jeremiah. But if you guys remember, Rose fought Carla Esparza for the inaugural title. Lost that fight via submission, I believe. And then now she's back to take on probably the most dominant. No, right now the most dominant female fighter in MMA. After if she wins this fight, she ties Ronda Rousey's record and more than likely passes it in next year at some point. But Jeremiah, you already said and knew why.
I don't know. I think Joanna's just got comfortable being champ, and she's then lost that fucking ferocity that we've seen from her. You know what I'm saying? She's just trying not to lose instead of trying to win the fucking fight.
So you think she got comfortable?
She's done got comfortable, and honestly, I think, she's a beast on the feet. But honestly, I think Rose is the more skilled fighter all around. And she's riding high on her confidence, and I think she's going to sub Joanna Jędrzejczyk in the third round.
Damn. All right, Jesse.
Plus, I'm in love with Rose. So
there you go.
That's where it is. See, you see, biases all over the place. It to me, it's tough to really pick somebody here because I like JJ's style. I like her fights and her as a person, really. And then Rose, I just don't get the appeal for why everybody is so enamored with her. I don't get it. I don't know what it is about everybody like Rose is the best. She's like pretty. She's all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't see it, guys. She what was her last loss was against what's her name? No.
No,
it was
Carolina.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
So I mean, I think Carolina is a pretty well-rounded fighter, and I think Rose really showed how immature all her skills were in that fight. I mean, to me, it's always been a level of maturity for Rose. Like every time she comes up to a point, she proves that she's just not mature enough in her skill set yet. You know, and I always keep thinking in the next fight she's going to advance more. She's going to advance, but she's going to look better. And she kind of does, but she kind of also disappoints me because it's either too fast of a fight or she just sticks to one aspect of her game, which is, you know, her good jiu-jitsu, her good ground game. You know, we don't get to see like it all kind of put together very well in many occasions. And when she tries to put it together, like in that Carolina fight, it just didn't work out for her.
She put it together in the Watterson fight, though.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, but I mean, who really thinks Watterson is capable of beating any of the top three chicks that are in that division? I mean, between I mean, honestly, I never thought Watterson was ever going to be a contender. I thought she was like Paige Van Zandt, like a pretty face to kind of promote the division. I never thought she was going to be good enough to be a top 5 contender. But you know, it's just one of those things where I just don't see Rose's maturity rising to the level of where Joanna's at right now. And I just think that Joanna has all the skills necessary to beat pretty much everybody in that division. And I think the other thing is that she changed camps specifically to work on everything that she was lacking before. I mean, she had good takedown defense, and it got better because she knew that was an aspect that people were going to try to take advantage of, you know? So to me, I think she's just becoming a much better overall fighter, and I think this is going to be one of those fights that's going to really, really show everybody just how dominant she is in this division. I think it's going to be a wash, and I think it's going to be a 3rd or 4th round TKO for Joanna.
Damn. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. John says, is this a 3-rounder? No, it's a 5-round fight. All title fights are around 5 rounds. So all 3 final matches are 5 rounds? Yes, sir. That's what it is. So if they all go decision, man, we're gonna be up late as fuck. Yeah. So anyway, I'll get Liam. Priya says Carolina beat her in the clinch, and that's where Joanna will kill her. So she needs to take her down or she gets TKO'd. You agree there, Fred?
That's it. This ain't gonna take long from me, Jack. Listen, I love Thug Rose. I think she's fucking gorgeous, unlike Jesus, which has horrible taste in women, obviously. I think she's super cool. I love her and Pat Barry. I love her interviews. I think she's a fucking very talented fighter. I just think Styles Make Fights is a bad matchup for Rose. I think if you cannot take Johanna and put her off her fucking feet and you cannot hurt her on her feet, you're going to have a long night. And I don't think Rose can do either thing. If Rose, I'll tell you what, if Rose can knock the fuck out of her early and get some respect out of Joanna, she might be able to get the takedown and change this fight. She has to strike her early and get some respect on the feet. I don't think she'll do that. And I think, you know, Johanna comes out slow. That's how she do. But, you know, as much as it pains me to say this, I kind of agree with Jesus. I think by the 2nd or 3rd round, she starts pouring on the striking. She gets Rose's timing and starts fucking Rose up on the feet. Pains me to say that, but I mean that's just what I think is going to happen.
See, for me, this is not like a pick with my mind. It's a pick with, you know, one of those heart picks. I became a huge Rose fan when she flying armbarred Katina low and Invicta 5. That flying armbar was so sick. I was like, I'm gonna watch this chick whenever she fights.
Yep.
Is that gonna happen in this fight? No. I think she's gonna be in a hell of a war for 2-3 rounds. She's gonna get knocked down a couple times, and in one of those, she's gonna be on her back. She's gonna catch Joanna in a triangle. That's what I'm calling. Thug Rose by triangle off her back, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. I heard that on the heel hook show, and I was like, Eddie's just playing around, but you're going with that.
No, I'm going with it. No. Rose, I'm going with Rose's triangle specific. I forgot what run I said on the show. I think I want to say like 3rd or 4th, but
Third.
It's getting 3rd. All right, yeah, there you go. Fucking Thug Rose by triangle. I don't think she's gonna take her down. I think it's very difficult for girls at 115 to take Joanna down. I think it's fucking hard to do because she did make those improvements, just like Jeremiah was saying. But at the same time, I think if Joanna knocks her down, Rose will be on her back. She'll have time to she'll give herself some time to recover. She's gonna need that time to recover, and she'll slap on a triangle so quick, and it'll be like that Misha Tate fucking Holly Holm upset of sorts, right? It'll be crazy. So that's what I'm calling right there.
She's slick on the ground too.
Yeah. Liam says JJ has arguably the best all-around skill set we've seen in WMMA in my view. And look, right now, I mean, look, you guys tell me real quick before we move on to the rest of the card. Jeremiah, is she already better than, or is she already the most dominant female, better than Ronda Rousey, basically?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
She don't even have to break the record for me.
I agree with you.
Ronda was overrated.
Yeah. Fred, what do you think?
What was the question? What word is she?
Joanna is champion. I mean, she is her title reign already better than anything Ronda Rousey pulled off? Like as far as her legacy, I guess it's a shitty question. To be honest with you.
It depends on what we mean by better, right? Is it more important and more impressive? Probably.
Not as important.
Yeah. I mean, probably due to the girls she beat and the way she beat them, I think that maybe Ronda was a bit ahead of her time. But listen, man, hindsight's 2020, right? Let's have this discussion after Johanna loses her belt, right?
Good point.
Because there was a point in time where Ronda Rousey was Mike Tyson. Lest we forget, man, those last 2 fights didn't go her way. But before that, holy shit, let me tell you something, Jack. I ain't never been remotely close to as hyped for a Joanna fight as I was to some of those Rousey fights. And hey, that make me a casual or whatever you pricks want to say. But before Ronda got thunderstruck, it was exciting as fuck to watch Ronda Rousey fight, man, because of the way she finished fights. And at the time, we didn't know no better. We thought them was the baddest bitches in the world. What do we know about? What the fuck I know about it? Kat Zingano works for me. Sarah McMahon works for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? At the time, she's fucking starching these hoes. At the time, that was impressive as fuck. Hindsight's 2020, though. So.
I agree with you. Jesse, what do you think there? Can you make that call yet?
Yeah, I think this is a John Jones, Mighty Mouse argument all over again. Mm-hmm. John Jones has had the legacy of beating a bunch of guys, that were former champions and just leaving a really impressive streak behind him. Mighty Mouse has been doing, this, for longer than, now he has the current, longest win streak for
11, right? Yeah.
Right. But it's not as impressive as John Jones's lesser streak because of the quality of competition, right? And I think this is the same thing. I think Ronda Rousey had that because there was a lot of hype behind her. But, like Fred said, you go look at that career now, and there's not very much to be impressed by. I mean, Betch Kohea, Sarah McMahon, like some of those girls weren't really the top tier of the top tier. And I think Joanna has really been challenged and been fighting some chicks that are really putting her, really forcing her to change her game, which is the most important part, right? Because Ronda never had to change her game up until she got starched, and she didn't even do that. She just went away and came back and tried to do the same thing all over again. Joanna got challenged by Claudia, changed her game, and got better, and now we're seeing the results of that. So I think JJ has already surpassed Ronda's career in that sense.
That's a good point, because during Ronda's reign, the women's MMA was still evolving. You know what I'm saying?
Still brand new, still evolving. By the way, I mean now we got multiple killers at 135. So that's just the crazy part.
People just made dumb mistakes against Ronda. It's like she just fucking got lucky. I mean, I can't call it luck. The bitch is bad as hell on the ground, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was just she was like earlier. She was here. What's the saying? Before her time, or whatever.
Yep.
She was like a Hoist Gracie. She was like a Hoist Gracie before everybody knew what jiu-jitsu was.
There you go. And the people didn't talk about judo, even though I believe Hector Lombard's a judo guy, right? And so is I want to say so is Romero. Romero's like judo wrestling, but but no one talks about judo to Ronda. So it's just one of those things. Pierre Rose asking, oh yeah, where's that Cyborg home fight? It's still Jesse. Any news on that?
That ain't happening anytime soon. Look, Cyborg has it in her head that she's worth more than what she really is. Her value is inflated in her head. So until she gets it through her head that her value is not that, and she needs to be out there really performing, to get the fans behind her, she ain't gonna get what she wants. So we're at an impasse here.
All right, moving on to the rest of the card here. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson taking on Jorge Masvidal. Now, again, we were talking about Masvidal a little bit ago. One of the realest motherfuckers ever. Wonderboy Thompson might be one of the nicest motherfuckers ever. Both are strikers. One's a brawler. One's a little more technical, in my opinion, than Wonderboy. Fred, your pick.
Fuck, man. Really good fight. I gotta go with Wonderboy, I guess, just with his finesse of striking. I wouldn't be surprised if Jorge could break through that and thunder strike him one good time. But, yeah, I got to go with Wonderboy. I think he's too good on the feet. I don't know, though. I don't know if we can stop him. Jorge's really, really hard to finish. You know what? Fuck it. I changed my mind. Jorge.
Huh.
I don't think Wonderboy's going to be able to stop him. I don't think he's going to try to out-grapple him for sure. So I think maybe Jorge will take a little bit of a beating and then eventually land that shot that puts Wonderboy. I think Jorge can stop Wonderboy. I don't think Wonderboy can stop Jorge. So
I'd have to agree with that. I think I'm taking Masvidal. He's gonna make it a brawl, make it ugly, make it nasty. I don't know if he'll finish him. He might, but regardless, I think it's gonna be a nice little brawl. Or Masvidal's gonna make him fight, make him brawl him, and it's gonna be an ugly, bloody ass fight. And I'm thinking I'm taking Jorge Masvidal by TKO, probably like late third round. Jeremiah, your pick.
I'm picking Masvidal, and I think it's going to be a ground and pound stoppage.
There you go.
Wonderboy is one of those fighters. He's kind of like Woodley to me. I wish I could control either one of them with a remote control. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. They don't attack. And if they did, they can destroy all. You know what I'm saying? But then again, Wonderboy says that he feels more comfortable for this camp and this fight. All the pressure's off of him. But I don't know. I got this feeling that he's going to get starched, man. On the ground will be the best move for Masvidal to take this fight. But can he close the distance? Every fight starts on the feet. That's the main thing, but I'm still picking my boy Masvidal. He's just harder. He's harder of a person, and I think Wonderboy can be broken. I think he can be broken. A few elbows, ground and pound, smashing his ass up, he can be broken.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Jesse?
Oh, man. I like Jeremiah, but, man, I have to disagree with the fact that thinking that Wonderboy can be broken, because I mean, if there was ever a time
that choke,
if there was ever a time where he was gonna break, it was that choke, and when he got starched in that fourth or fifth round against Woodley, where his eyes kind of went one way and another, and he was on the ground. He's proven he's tough. I think this is one of the more interesting fights on this entire card. The next fight is probably the easiest one to pick. This to me is one of the hardest ones, just because both of these guys are strikers, but one is like you guys were saying, one is just a street fighter, basically. Is a guy that's just like makes it nasty and dirty and bloody, and the other guy is trying to be more refined, trying to be like the sweet science of boxing, not get hit, karate and all that stuff, and Zen. So I mean, to me it's like two awesome worlds clashing together, some of the best to ever do it in each aspect, like a brawler and a karate specialist, so it's really hard for me to pick, but I just think that Wonderboy, it's his time still. I think that title fight just wasn't his. It just wasn't for him at that time. But I think he's still the guy to beat. I still think that he's got the skills to beat everybody in that division, and I think he can beat Masvidal. I think it's going to be a KO kick, probably in the second round.
God damn! All right. Moving on to the first fight on the main card is there's a couple fights in this one. First is Johnny Hendricks versus Scale. Okay. Yeah. Fucking if he makes weight, great. I hope he does. I'm not confident. And taking on Paulo Bohachina, which I was talking to somebody today. They were like, dude, I'm not convinced that guy's clean.
Well, whatever. Till he pops, you can't be assuming that shit.
Exactly. Till he pops, you can't say that shit really. But regardless, let's say Johnny Hendricks makes weight and Bohachina don't pop hot. Fred, who you picking?
Bohachina.
There you go.
Bohachina, I think this is Johnny Hendricks' swan song, Jack.
The swan song.
Listen, he just needs to stop eating cheeseburgers and get down to 70. He's one of those dudes, right? Like, we'll see what happens, but I don't think he's big enough for 85. So I think he's gonna find that out the hard way Saturday.
There you go, Jeremiah.
I'm going out on a limb, man. I'm picking Johnny. He's fucking training with Master Splinter now. I think he's going to be ready for this fight if he fucking makes weight. And I don't know. I'm just picking Johnny. I'm going to give him a fucking chance.
All right, I'm picking Bohachina. This is going to be ugly, nasty, and yeah, that's going to be it for good old Big Rig, unfortunately.
Will it be it if he loses this one? You think it'll be it?
I think it'll be it in the UFC for sure. I don't think he's going to stop fighting, but I think he'll be done in the UFC. Jesse?
Obviously, Bohachina. I think Johnny Hendricks' time has passed. And, I mean, you know, pre-USADA, he was starching foods left and right. After USADA, you know, he's gotten this weird, I can't make weight, I'm too fat, I'm too slow, I don't have the pop anymore. So, I mean, I hope because he's going to train, you know, at one of the best camps possible, maybe we'll see the best Johnny Hendricks, but I don't know, man. I just don't have faith in him anymore, unfortunately.
I think he's losing his mind. He's just crazy now. You know what I'm saying?
He's taking a lot of shots, man. A lot of shots. So.
Is he what's his name from Blink-182 on Joe Rogan's podcast?
Yeah, we were talking about that, dude. We were talking about that before the show started. We went off on it for like 15 minutes. You missed out.
Yep.
Damn it.
Anyway, yeah. All right. Let's so that's gonna be it for the main card there. Let's talk prelims. All right, stop me. I'm gonna read them off. You guys stop me when you talk about something. Let's make it nice and sweet. All right, short and sweet on this one. All right,
Curtis Blades, only one really.
Which one?
Curtis Blades and who was it? Olenek.
Oh, in the early prelims.
Yeah,
that's
the only one I care to fucking watch, really. But yeah, you can name them off. Let's see. I really don't know many other ones.
FS1. So again, the main card's 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time. FS1 prelim start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Headlined, or the main prelim is James Vick against Joe Duffy. Good fight. I like James Vick. I'm picking James Vick. Jesse?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be a firefight. I'll go Joe Duffy on that one.
Joe Duffy, Jeremiah?
I'm going with Vic. He's just too long.
That's what I'm saying. Tall, long. He's crazy. The dude's fucking nuts. Although I want Joe Duffy to win, but I just don't see it in this fight. Fred.
Joe Duffy.
Joe
Duffy's better striker, better use of range.
All right. Then the fight before that is Walt Harris, big thing against Mark the Hand of God. Be a weird fucking last name or nicknames. That being said, this fight was supposed to happen last card. Didn't happen. Exactly. Walt Harris decided to be an armbar drill dummy for Verdum. So that's kind of how it worked out. Before that, Open St. Preux taking on Corey Anderson. Okay.
This fucking Open St. Preux. I can't stand this prick. Can he get off my screen? Fucking fuck. Him and Corey Anderson. That's a shit sandwich if I've ever had one.
Oh, what about this one here? What, Jesse?
No, just remember that Mr. What's his name was supposed to be in this fight before, Patrick Cummins, and then he got that nasty staph infection on his foot or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. All right, and then the first fight on the FS1 prelims, maybe this one will get you going there, Fred. Mickey Gall against Randy Brown, the rude boy. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? Fucking Tricky Mickey, huh? Can't stand that fucking song he comes out to, or that smug little face of his, but whatever. I suppose it's a name I recognize at least. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what old Tricky Mickey's about.
There you go. All right, then Jeremiah, the fight he wants to see, Alexei Oleinik taking on Curtis Blades.
Be fun.
Yeah.
Oleinik's the one that pulled off that fucking Ezekiel off his back. That's what I want to see happen again.
I'm picking Oleinik because I just played with him 2 days ago on UFC 2, and he's sneaky on the feet on the game. So I'm pulling for it.
Jesse, you picking?
I'm going with Curtis Blades. Remember, he's the guy that the only reason he ended up losing to the future champion of the heavyweight division was because Francis Ngannou was because it was a doctor. But he was pretty
most competitive fight the guy used.
Yep. So I'm still expecting a lot out of Curtis Blades, and your boy Machine Gun over there, Jeremiah. He's good buddies with him. So come on, you got to be a homer for the home team there.
They are best friends.
Yeah. Fred, are you picking? Or did you pick this one?
No. Yeah, I like Oleinik. I like Curtis Blades, but I feel like he's one of those dudes that's got more hype than he deserves. Maybe he'll prove me wrong.
Yeah, fair enough, man. I got Olynyk by submission. Ezekiel was
same.
fucking nuts.
Same.
Fucking nuts. All right.
Didn't he
Before
pull 2 of them off?
No, I don't know. I know he did the Ezekiel.
Not like that, but he does got 2 submission wins. I think that's his thing, kind of.
Yeah, two of those.
I think the thing with me with the Ezekiel is that he did it here in Phoenix, right? And dude, he was on bottom. He was mounted. He pulled it off. You could tell who trained jiu-jitsu in the crowd, because me and about 6 people stood up freaking the fuck out about what we just saw, and everyone else was like, "What the fuck happened? Why'd he touch?"
They didn't know what happened.
They had no idea. Meanwhile, I'm marking the fuck out. I'm like, "And Ezekiel off his back? What the fuck?" And no-gi. That's hard to do. All right.
He has it's the first in the UFC. I think he's the first one to pull it off, but he has a couple.
Yeah, I know. He's got long fucking arms. All right, long ass arms, so he can pull that shit off. All right. Before that, light heavyweight bout between Michael Oleksiejczuk. Fuck, how do you say your last name, dog? Oleksiejczuk, something like that, against Ion Cutelaba, and then the first fight of the night for our Sahabi's. I don't want to say it's his little brother, Ayman Sahabi. Yeah, Ayman Sahabi taking on Ricardo Ramos. So those are your early Fight Pass prelims, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. So
what is he, like 12-0?
Sahabi?
Yeah.
7-0.
7-0. I knew he was undefeated.
Yeah. He's a 130. I didn't know he was 135. I thought he was a lightweight, but apparently he's much smaller than I thought.
Yep.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, anything else you guys want to talk about before we head out?
Nope. Wrap it up.
Hey, one thing. What about Amanda Nunes calling out Kat? Says she wants that rematch, but then again, she made another tweet saying that she'll be ready and needs another fight before she can challenge her.
Oh, Zingano said she needs another fight?
No, Amanda said that Kat needs another fight. But first she called her out and said that that's who she wants to fight next.
I'll tell you what, Rocky Pennington was the next one up. Broke her leg.
Yeah.
I don't think Nunes gets a try. Gets really. I mean, who else are you gonna throw in there? Rocky was already kind of a stretch in my opinion, right? She was already a stretch. I mean, who else are you gonna throw in there? You gotta throw someone in that's gonna make people watch. My opinion. I think Kat's the chick.
I got a bet with my buddy Reginald Cofield. If you're watching, we got a little friendly $5 bet. I'm picking Amanda in that fight. He said that it's going to look like their first fight, but she's had a long layoff.
Yeah, dude.
Like I said earlier with Bisping, Amanda's been fighting the who's who in the division, and she ain't the same fighter she was when Kat put that beat down on her.
Yeah.
Then again, it could go the same way. Who knows?
It's hard to say.
It could, but it's been so long since she's fought, man. I just don't see it. You know what I mean?
But
I do want to see the fight.
Yeah. Say it's a Ronda Rousey do-over.
There you go. All right. If nothing else, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight for Keyboard Warriors episode 74 / UFC 217 pre-fight show. Again, you'll find these in the next few days cut up into little mini episodes of Keyboard Warriors shorts, and of course the pre-fight show on its own. So thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Priya Rose, Liam Hughes, John Smith, Joey Tremendous is in here somewhere. I don't know where. Oh, there he is. I don't know where he went, but there he is. Who else we got on here? We had a lot of people on this today. Really appreciate you guys being fucking engaged in the chat. This makes this shit so much more fun, honestly. Raider, thanks for tuning in. We had the drinking buddy. What's his fucking
Uncle Pappy's or some shit.
Something like that. And then Gary Coaston was on here a while ago. So anyone that watches this now or later on, appreciate you guys tuning in.
You know what, Eddie? Do you want to say, everybody pray for me, because I'm over here where the Dodgers are playing and it looks like they're about to lose.
Get the fuck out of there.
Pray for me that I don't get killed in one of the riots happening over here probably when they lose.
Yeah, people crazy. I just get drunk and stupid. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
I believe this is the first World Series in a very long time that I ain't watched the first fucking game of it. And I heard it's been basically a home run derby.
Yeah, I don't watch baseball, honestly. So it's just hard for me to watch anyway.
World Series is all I watch.
Yeah. All right. Uncle Hank's drinking buddy. Thanks, Liam. So Uncle Hank's drinking buddy. Shout out, dude. Appreciate you tuning in. You can follow everyone. All the Twitters are down here at Kirby MMA for Kirby. At Kirby_MMA for Kirby, at Elaw31 for myself. Jesse's at Spawn1983. Jeremiah's at Jeremiah Deskins. Make sure you go hit him up when he goes on the Hardcore MMA show. Literally just go on YouTube, search the Hardcore MMA show, and it's the only one on there. You'll find it. Fucking subscribe to that shit. He gets guests all the time, like spiders. Get on that shit. Who you got? Any names you want to throw out there?
Sunday at 10 o'clock Eastern time, James Krause is officially booked. Kobe was supposed to be on Friday night. I ain't heard nothing back from him, and Emil Meek's supposed to be on this weekend also. That would be a little fun if I could get if both of them came through, but we'll see.
Yeah. So again, he gets fighters all time. All right, don't sleep on that show. For sure, subscribe. All right, shout out to repthewarriors.com. Get yourself some gear, helps us out at the same time. Shout out to spicypros.com. We weren't able to do the giveaway this time around for 217. Just shit went down. We're looking at 218, 219 for that giveaway, and I'll throw out the details as soon as I have them. All right, and yeah, it's gonna do it for us. So make sure you go to keyboardwarriorsmma.com for the video, for all the podcasts and everything, and on iTunes at Keyboard Warriors MMA. Thanks for joining us. From myself, Jeremiah, Kirby, Jesse, everyone on the team, thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good night, and good night, Wilshire.
Thanks, guys.